Welcome to our Adjudication training session. Chapter 1, Introduction to Adjudication. Whether you're new to judging or looking to sharpen your skills, this session will guide you through the essential responsibilities of an adjudicator in public speaking and debate. In this session, we'll explore what an adjudicator does, the core responsibilities involved, and how to approach each part of the judging process with fairness and professionalism. By the end, you'll have a solid understanding of what's expected of you as an adjudicator. Here is our table of content. First, what make an adjudicator? Second, responsibilities of an adjudicator. Third, how to provide constructive feedback. And finally, handling disputes and questions. To begin with, I would like to ask everyone a warm-up question. What is an adjudicator, and what do you think they do? Thank you for your answers, everyone. Now, let's discuss the role of an adjudicator. In both public speaking and debate, an adjudicator is a person who is responsible for evaluating the performances of participants and providing feedback. Essentially, adjudicators assess the quality of speeches or arguments presented, apply the relevant judging criteria, and determine the winner based on your evaluation. While the specifics of the role and the rubric for evaluation can differ between debate and public speaking, one thing remains constant. The core responsibility of an adjudicator is to make fair, thoughtful decisions based on the performances you observe. Now, let's me ask you another question. In your opinion, which of the following are key responsibilities of an adjudicator in a debate or public speaking event? Thank you for your answers. Moving on to the next part of our lesson. As an adjudicator, your role involves several important responsibilities. Let's break them down step by step. First, decision-making. This is your most significant responsibility. As an adjudicator, you are tasked with making decisions about how to score individual or team performances. Ultimately, you will determine who wins the debate or speaking contest. Your decisions must be based on the quality of the content, the delivery, and how well the participants adhere to the rubric or criteria set by the event organizers. This requires careful attention to detail and a fair assessment of the participants' abilities. Second, preparation. Before the debate or speech begins, it is essential that you prepare by familiarizing yourself with the competition's rules and criteria. If you have any questions or uncertainties, take the time to clarify them with the chief adjudicators or event organizers. It's also important to ensure that you approach the judging process with complete impartiality, especially if you have any connections to the participants or teams involved. Biases must be set aside to maintain fairness. Third, during the speech. When the debate or speech begins, your role as an adjudicator is to listen attentively to all speeches or arguments. You should take detailed notes and avoid forming any premature judgments before the speech or debate is finished. This ensures you're evaluating the performance based on the entire presentation rather than making snap decisions. As you listen, you should assess the performance according to the established judging criteria for the event, whether it's a debate or public speaking competition. Fourth, post-debate evaluation. Once the debate or speech concludes, your job is to review your notes and evaluate the performance carefully. This is your chance to ensure that your assessment is accurate and fair. Depending on the event, you may also be asked to provide constructive feedback to the participants, explaining why you made your decision and answering any questions they might have. This feedback is a key part of the adjudication process, as it helps participants understand where they excelled and where they could improve. Finally, maintaining professionalism. Throughout the entire process, it is essential that you maintain a professional attitude. This means staying neutral and composed at all times, and ensuring that your personal opinions or emotions don't influence your judgments. You must also be aware of the impact your decisions have on the participants. If any disputes arise over your decision, it is best to let the event organizers handle the situation rather than attempting to resolve it yourself. This ensures that everything is dealt with in a fair and organized manner. On to Section 3, how to provide constructive feedback. Let's us begin with another question. How should an adjudicator provide feedback? Thank you for your answer. In this section, we will look at the basic foundation of how you can provide feedback as an adjudicator. These steps will help ensure that the adjudication process is fair, transparent, and constructive for all participants. Firstly, you should be specific and objective. When providing feedback, you should focus on specific aspects of the performance, such as the strength of the content or argument, clarity of delivery, and adherence to the rules or rubric of the event. Avoid vague statements and instead provide concrete examples from the debate or speech to illustrate your points. This helps make your feedback clear, actionable, and relevant to the participant. Secondly, you should balance positive and negative comments. As an adjudicator, you need to strike a balance in your feedback. It's important that you highlight both the strengths and weaknesses of the performance. By doing this, participants will understand what they're doing well and where they need to improve. We will further discuss the approaches to providing feedbacks in later chapter. Thirdly, you should encourage self-reflection. Participants must reflect on their own performances, so you can do this by asking questions that guide them to consider what worked well and what could be improved. This helps foster a growth mindset and encourages continuous development, allowing participants to learn and grow from each experience. Finally, you should be timely. It's important that you provide feedback as soon as possible after the speech or debate, while the details are still fresh in everyone's mind. Giving feedback promptly ensures that it's relevant and can be acted upon effectively, helping participants adjust for future performances. Finally, we will conclude this chapter with Section 4, Handling Disputes and Questions. But before we dive in, let's imagine a scenario. One of the participants you've judged approaches you after the event, questioning why they received a low score when they believe they should have scored higher. What would you do? Thank you for your interesting answers. As an adjudicator, this is a very common situation in any public speaking or debate event. Participants may approach you to ask about your decisions, and it's important to handle these moments with care. In this section, we'll discuss how to properly manage disputes and respond to questions. Firstly, you must stay calm and professional. When faced with disputes or questions about your decisions, it's essential to maintain composure and professionalism. Staying calm helps set a positive tone for the conversation and can de-escalate any potential tension with the participant. Your professionalism in these situations reflects well on both you and the competition. Secondly, you must listen actively to their questions or concerns. Allow participants to fully express their concerns or frustrations. Active listening not only demonstrates respect but also helps you understand the participant's perspective. This can be key in resolving misunderstandings and addressing the issue fairly. Thirdly, you should provide clear explanations. When responding to questions or disputes, you must explain the reasoning behind your decisions in a clear and respectful manner. Transparency is vital here. It helps the participant understand the adjudication process and the criteria you use to make your decision. However, if you've already explained your reasoning and the participant continues to argue, it's best to remain firm and ask the event organizers to handle the situation, rather than getting into a back and forth with the participant yourself. Finally, you should document everything. Keep detailed notes throughout the adjudication process. This documentation can be invaluable when handling disputes, providing a reference point for the decisions you made and helping to clarify any misunderstandings that arise later. Having well-kept notes protects both you and the participants and ensures transparency in the adjudication process. To conclude, being an effective adjudicator involves more than just making decisions. It's about ensuring fairness, providing constructive feedback, and maintaining professionalism throughout the process. Remember to stay objective, balance positive and negative comments, and encourage self-reflection. When disputes arise, remain calm, listen actively, and provide clear explanations. And always document your decisions to maintain transparency. Thank you all for joining this training session. We appreciate your time and attention, and we hope you now feel more confident in your role as an adjudicator. Your ability to evaluate fairly, provide constructive feedback, and handle disputes professionally will make a huge difference in the success of any competition. Best of luck in your future adjudicating.